Welcome to Tim's Workshop out here in the mini shed. Continuing on with this 1947 Johnson 5-horse TD20. We're going to be putting it all together on this last video of the series and take some pictures and stuff. So that'll wrap this motor up. Hey, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, leave comments, hit the notification bell. And if you like, give me a like. Buddy likes it. Hit the old hand thing and let your friends and family, and your doggies too, know about Tim's Workshop on my YouTube. Alright, let's get going and finishing up this 1947 Johnson outboard motor. Alright, so I got the lower unit in the vise and getting ready to put the prop shaft housing in. That is the rubber rotor, which is the water pump, and there is the drive shaft gear, and there's the prop shaft housing. I leave the cam, oblong cam, I leave that out a bit so I can move that plate, the water pump plate, around so I can get access to the screws going. There is the rubber water grommet. It goes in the top of the prop shaft housing, and there's the entrance for the water, and it comes out the top of that rubber plug and goes up into the water tube. So when you put the water tube down into the lower unit, you want to make sure it engages into that hole in that rubber grommet. I'm showing right now how that drive shaft gear sits on that housing, and how the gears mesh up, just like that. So when you put the prop shaft down through the lower unit, it goes into that gear, and you line it up by rotating that prop shaft back and forth, left and right, to get it to line up, and then make sure the splines are lined up, and it should pop right in. Once you have it in there, don't grab a hold of it or tip it upside down, and your prop shaft will fall back out. And then you have to do it all over again. Okay, so sealing up the gasket with the aircraft gasket sealer. Getting that put on the put that on the prop shaft housing. Get that on there. That's why I put the screws, the short screws, and the lock washers in. That way they're sticking out, so you can get that gasket located on there. Okay, so that's all set and ready to go. Alright, next is time for the installation grease. So we'll get the drive shaft gear and the lubriplate 105 installation grease, which is also used to fill up the lower unit when done. So we got the grease on there. Put some on the mating surface. That's where it's going to sit down on top of the prop shaft housing. So yeah, we've got that gear sitting down in there in place, so that's ready to go. Now taking the liver plate and putting some on the main gear. Alright, there we go. And put some on the end of the shaft. It's going to go into the bushing that's on the inside of the housing. There we go. We'll get the get it started in there. There we go. screwdriver and start running the screws down. Alright, so we got the water tube facing the right direction. Okay, now I want to make sure the drive shaft is down there where it belongs. Okay, so that's in. You heard it click. The water tube comes up through here and the drive shaft goes in there. So we'll start the water tube first. Okay. There we go. Now we put little finger down in there and shove this over. There we go. So that's set. The water tube's set. Now the screw. The big screw. Where's it at? There it is. The big screw goes through there where the notch is. I don't know if you can see this. Let's turn this around so you can see me put the screw in there. And you can see down here, you can see that it's going in where it needs to go. Almost all the way in. Okay, so that's in there. Okay, next is putting the drive shaft in. So this is the top of the drive shaft and this is the lower unit. And you can tell where it's been riding on the seal, okay? That keeps the oil from coming up this way. So what we're going to do is we already got some of the grease on here, so we're going to put some grease on the top. Don't put it on the very top because it'll hydrolock on you. You know what hydrolock is, right? It won't allow it to go all the way in. So you don't want that. You want it to go all the way in. So we'll put some grease on here. Then on the bottom, we'll put the same grease that's going to go in the lower unit. So on the bottom, just put a little bit of the 105. So let's get this drive shaft in there, and then I got to go to the bank, I guess. So we'll get that done. But first, let's see if we can get this thing in there. So it goes down through the seal, which really needs to be changed. Oh wow, just like that. I must have had that gear shift centered. So to make sure you have it in there, right, what you do is you turn this and watch your prop shaft and see it spinning. It's working, so that's good. Gasket on the lower leg. Put the gasket sealer on. Turn it over and do the other side. Doesn't matter which side's up, it just matters which way it goes forward. Okay, now we'll get the excess off. You don't want too much on it, otherwise it squeezes out everywhere. Don't hit the grease up top. Bring it down, and there we go. Tap it on so it's the holes line up. So I'm not going to put the cover on or rubber rotor, okay? I'm not going to put on either one yet. That's how it goes in there, like that. I'm not going to put those in there yet. The reason being is once I put this leg up in here, you tilt this thing up like that. When you put this up there, you want to make sure that tube is going down into this grommet. I'm going to put a wire up through here. It comes out. Get it guided into the tube. You want this tube to go down in the right spot, and you want the tube to go in this rubber grommet. So with a wire, you can kind of guide it and pull the wire out once this tube is in the grommet. I think that's the way to do it. That way you know for sure it's in the right spot. So I got the coat hanger in there. Okay. So we're ready to go. I got a bolt and a washer ready to go. Okay. Let's get this thing on there. Here we go. Up into the hole, which is going into that tube housing. This going up into the tube. Okay. There we go. Okay. All right. So I got 3 started in there. Getting this 4th one in. Trying to get this sucked up into place while the gasket sealer's still wet. We don't want it dry. Once we get this up and tight, we'll rotate the flywheel and make sure this prop shaft is moving. I know the water tube's in here. I stuck a wire in there when I had it up real close. And when I had it real close, I stuck the wire up in there and just shoved it up there to make sure to see if the wire was showing next to the tube. If it was next to the tube, that means it's not in there. But it went all the way up in the tube, so I knew that I had that water tube in the right spot, so we're good. I don't want to put this in the water barrel and not see the water flow coming out, so that would be bad. That's good. All right, so let's check this out and make sure that this thing is moving. Hopefully you can see down here. What I'll do is the visual aid. There we go. Okay. Oh yeah, see that? It's working. So now we can put this guy on and we can put this guy on. Like this. Okay, now the screws to, there is no gasket that goes on the water pump housing. And this screw here is actually a flush. So that's kind of cool. It's not the vent screw for putting grease in. That actually is up here somewhere. Right there. So the impeller's on, rubber rotor. The rubber rotor's on. Rubber rooter. Rubber rotor. And then the prop, put some grease on it. grease on there. Okay. And the pin. There it is. There we go. Now, tap it in there so it's okay. There we go. And then washer. And this prop nut, multi-flavor holes. What you do is you get this down and then back it up enough to get the cotter pin in there. There we go. Okay, well, that goes through, but this stupid cotter pin won't. So it looks like I'm going to have to get a new cotter pin. Yeah, maybe that's going in. Oh yeah. There we go. Okay, then turn this. Pull this up like that. Pull this around like that. And there we go. Ta-da! Now I just got to clean it up, take some pictures, put the hood on, take some more pictures. Yeah, sounds good.